Hey everybody, welcome back and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. Today we've got mono red Obosh burn, baby. It's been a long time since we've seen a burn deck in Standard. This is inspired by a deck I ran into within the top 20 Mythic. I don't know how close I got it to their build, but I did my best to reconstruct what is, an absurdly powerful build. Again, focused around mono red, so it's super consistent. And we have Obosh, which is going to double the damage that we put out with our odd cast spells, which is a lot of fun. So don't worry if you don't understand the jargon. What are those words coming out of his mouth? We're going to break down the deck in depth for you guys so you know exactly what's going on. Then we'll watch the gameplay footage, discuss our playlines and interactions so you can get a feel for how the deck is going to interact with the meta. And then you also get a very good feel whether or not this deck is right for you and your wild cards. That's probably the most important thing. Of course, if you guys do find any value within today's video, I encourage you to go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It's a great way to help support. Once you've done that, we can continue. Wow, thank you so much. That's so kind of you to like my video. As easy as that. Like I said, we'll break down the deck now, then we'll jump into the gameplay footage. $60 cards, best of 1, 2.5 average mana value, 25 non-creatures, and 15 creatures. Only 20 lands in the deck. We're going pretty quick, and we do have a fair amount of excuses for the lack of lands there. The first most is that our highest converted mana, is a 5-drop. There's only 2 of those, and it's way late game. Within Obosh, within the 2 dragons, everything else is a 3-drop. With 20 lands, you should be consistently hitting, those 3 drops all the time. We also have an additional 4 lands within Spikefield Hazard. This is an MDFC card coming in tapped if we need it to be. Otherwise, it's going to deal 1 damage to any target, and if that target would die, exile it. This is great. That's going to really make things quite consistent with our land total, and you'll almost feel while you're playing this deck, at least if you're like me and you're shuffler, it's got that weird thing going on with it where it loves to flood you all the time. Then I run pretty lean, typically with my land total, and basically take advantage of what I find my personal shuffler to be like, and I'm always getting flooded, so I run less land, and that happens to work out for me. It will be easy for you guys to add 2 additional land to the deck. There's lots of things you could trim back, and I would recommend that you play the deck first before you do make that call, right? See if there is enough land for your playstyle before you make any adjustments, and then as you've played it a bunch, you'll know, which cards I like within the deck and which cards I don't like within the deck, and you can, make a couple adjustments because it's only 2 cards for 2 lands, and that's as far as I would ever go. But with that being said, we've got Obosh as our companion, a 3/5, and if a source you control with an odd converted mana cost would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to permanent or player instead. That's amazing. When we have it as the companion, we have to follow a deck building rule. In this case, our deck will only have odd mana cards. 1 drops, 3 drops, 5 drops, 7 drops, 9 drops, whatever. We can get around this in a really interesting way that we will need to stay aware of. Bonecrusher Giant is a 3 CMC card with a 2 CMC adventure, which works really quite nice. So we can still have some 2 converted mana cost cards, not to mention that, but its damage won't be doubled. That's the catch, right? The cool part, we get to have 2 CMCs. The downside, you're going to get used to having everything doubled, and then one day you're going to go and stomp someone expecting 4 damage, and it's only going to deal 2, and the crowd goes wild, right? Big laughs all around. Shame concede probably, but you'll have to wait and see. With that being said, there's also other things that we can do with 2 mana here. We have Foretell within the deck. That's a new incorporation within Call Time. Demon Bolt for 3 instant speed, 4 damage to creature or planeswalker. And then, of course, the Foretell for 1 mana. So, it's a great way to deal an absurd amount of damage to either a creature or planeswalker. We can utilize our 2 CMC drop if we want to push it to the side, reducing its cost for later, which is great. And the same thing goes for Crush the Weak. Sorcery speed, 3 mana as well, dealing 2 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt damage this way would die, exile it, which is absolutely amazing. Let's be honest. There's a lot of Lurrus decks around, mono white Lurrus, the rogues as well. So this is going to stop a lot of that recursion from the graveyard. And I know what you're thinking. Well, HGG is it only dealing 2 damage? How am I going to kill a Soaring Thought Thief and stuff? Well, when Obosh is in play, it's going to deal 4 damage to everything. Obosh has 5 toughness, so it's going to survive. Everything else goes into exile, basically, and, crap goes wild again. So Crush the Weak is my favorite card in the deck because we have mono red aggro everywhere. We have mono white aggro everywhere. We've even got the rogues everywhere. And that's a lot of low CMC, low toughness creatures that Crush the Weak can take advantage of. Hitting out all of those Guild Thieves, Enforcers, and stuff like this is going to be very nice. Not to mention the mono white it's most efficient against, and mono red it does a good job of any aggro deck really that's focused on creatures. With that being said, we do our best to dodge the death of our own creatures via Crush the Weak. So this means there's no Fervent Champion in the deck, there's no Fireblade Charger, because we don't want those cards to die and just go to exile. So we're utilizing the burn and the removal. We've got Frostbite, 4 copies of this, 2 damage to creature or planeswalker. If we have 3 snow permanents, which we have the land, it's going to deal 3 damage instead. That's going to help us stay alive, protect us from threats. All of the creature and planeswalker damage we want done to creatures and planeswalkers. All of the any target damage we want to try to hold on to as long as we can and push it into home base, like the Shock. 4 copies here, dealing 2 damage to any target, instant speed. So yes, we could use it to survive if we need. That's going to be a call decision. Is it a Luminarch Aspirant and this is your only chance to get it? Sure, go ahead and take it. If you can use something else, use something else. And if you can hold on to it, hold on to it. Hit him with Crush the Weak instead next turn. And, the Shock can potentially deal 4 damage to our opponent once Obosh is in play. So that's where it's nice to hold on to. The same thing goes for Spikefield Hazard. You can play it as the land if you need. You can use the exile if you need. And you can hold on to it if you can. For Obosh, a single copy of Shadowspear. A equipped creature gets +1/+1, has trample and lifelink. Having a 4/6 double strike trample lifelink Obosh in play is kind of ridiculous, which is nice. And this is gonna, be the ultimate BM against other aggro decks because we get that life gain, and they're not gonna be able to do much against us there. We have, while we're on the keynote of the burn spells, 4 copies of Slaying Fire for 3 mana. 3 damage to any target. If 3 red mana was spent to cast this spell, deal 4 damage to any target instead. Obosh is in play. This is dealing 8 damage, if you can believe it. So that's pretty insane. We talked about Demon Bolt. We talked about Crush the Weak. We talked about Stomp. Damage can't be prevented. 2 damage to any target. It's an even, so it's not double through Obosh. It is what it is. That's all of the damage, spells, and burn that we have available within the deck. We also have flying and haste creatures. The first and foremost is the Goldspan Dragon. You all are aware of how powerful this is. A 4/4 with flying and haste, and whenever Goldspan Dragon attacks or becomes a target of a spell, create a treasure token. And of course, as long as it remains in play, treasure tokens will sacrifice to add 2 mana instead of 1, which is very cool. 4 copies of Phoenix of Ash, a 2/2 with flying and haste. We can pay 3 mana to give it +2/+0 until the end of turn. We can replay it from the grave for 4 mana, plus exiling 3 other cards from our grave. It will enter with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Absolutely amazing. Flying is a great form of evasion through your opponent's blockers, and when they have haste, it ensures quick damage right away, not giving your opponent much of an opportunity to deal with it. We also have things like Arni Brokenbrow in the deck. 2 copies of this, a 3/3 with haste, boast for 1. You may change its base power to 1 plus the greatest power among other creatures you control until the end of turn, which is really quite nice. The haste is in here, and if we can increase its power a little bit, why not? We do have the Bonecrusher Giant, which is a 4, so it'll make Arni a 5. Nothing crazy, but it's really about having the 3 toughness haste creature to survive Crush the Weak. Phoenix of Ash can't survive Crush the Weak. We need to keep this in mind, but Arni's Brokenbrow can. In this scenario and most scenarios, I always hold on to the Phoenix until the last cards that I'm playing in the game. This will allow me to wipe the field at some point with Crush the Weak. After that, then we pile on with the Phoenixes. Of course, only if that situation is applicable, because it's not always going to be. You might only have a Phoenix of Ash, you might not have any other creatures, and you're probably better off to at least play one creature and not just be sitting dead and not doing anything for a turn, right? But if you have something else that you can play before the Phoenix, by all means play that creature first. Birgi, God of Storytelling, 3/3. Whenever you cast a spell, add 1 red mana until the end of turn. You don't lose it as steps and phases ends. Creatures you control can boast twice during each of their turns rather than once. That's irrelevant. The Brokenbrow won't take advantage of that at all. What's nice is just, adding the red mana to your pool, and you can go off with some shocks and some Spikefield Hazards and just kind of empty your hand at a certain point. We also have the Harnfell Horn of Bounty for 5 mana, legendary artifact allowing us to discard a card, exiling the top 2 cards of our library, and then we're allowed to play those cards. So every draw we exile, and then we get access to 2 cards. That's going to be very, very good. The Bonecrusher Giant's a 4/3. Whenever it's a target of a spell, 2 damage to that spell's controller. That 2 damage will be doubled because it's an odd source, right? That's quite nice. We talked about everything else. The Faceless Haven doesn't have a mana cost, so that's not going to be doubled. But it is a 4/3 with Vigilance if you pay 3 snow mana, and then you use that mana afterwards, which is quite nice. And then a single copy of Castle Embereth, pay 4. Every creature you are attacking with gets +1/+0 until the end of turn, so that's nice as well. So that's the list. As far as your general strategies and synergies go, it's to control the field, right? It's to use your Frostbites, it's to use Crush the Weak to keep the card advantage in your favor, especially Crush the Weak, right? So if you can remove, Speaker of the Heavens, a Luminarch Aspirant, and whatever else it happens to be, you're in good shape, or even just those 2, to be honest. And then you can lay in with your creatures and get Obosh in play and deal a bunch of damage this way. It will make more sense as you watch the matches. It can be relatively confusing, like when do I play my Obosh? And, again, this depends on what kind of matchup you're in. If you're in a matchup that it has to be done right away, you go ahead and do it. But if there's removal that you're unaware of, you're best to keep it until you can get it in place safely to take advantage of that ability. So, it really will depend upon what kind of matchup you're in. If I'm in an aggro matchup, I play it right away, because I know they probably don't have enough removal. It's all creature based, and it's a 3/5 blocker that deals 6 damage, right? It's going to get the job done defensively, especially if you can get that spear on it. Now, if it's a control deck, or a mid-range deck with fight effects, now the situation is a little bit different, and maybe I'll want to play it when I have extra mana on top, so I have instant speed interaction with, some shocks and frostbites in case, some creatures come into play that I wasn't expecting, right? So, you'll get a better grasp of that, again, as you watch the video. Thanks one more time for your time and attention. I appreciate each and every one of you who's willing to listen to me ramble on about this children's card game. I got you. No worries. Just a few more sleeps until Strixhaven. Cannot wait. Every day we're doing a new Strixhaven theory crafting video, so check all of those out if you're interested in seeing what is going to be, floating around in those first couple days within my channel at least. And of course, support the channel by partaking in the community events, all of our affiliate links, general shenanigans. You can buy cool swag and stuff. Everything's in the Linktree link, and then you can also Google that if you can't find it in the description below. Hello, Good Game Linktree. You'll find it. I believe in you. Thanks again for watching. Have a magical day, and we'll see you soon with our wrap-up thoughts. Last match. We can do this. Positive win rates. We're taking it up to 60-some% after this win. More mono red, are you serious? You can't escape it. All dang day. We've got Frostbite, which we'll need to save for a 3, like Annex, or the Giants, and then we'll use the Giants on everything else. Never mind. The Robber's too good, you gotta take it. If they're on the play, they'd get the draw. That's our turn. And they do go straight to the Giants. Stomp up top. They can have their own Frostbite, and then we're getting hit for 4. But if not, then we can trade, and that's actually not bad. Another Giant, so it is a trade. And a champion. I would take the champion. I will not have a reduction in Embercleave on my watch. Right? Not having that. Just doing it now so they can't reduce it. I'll take the 2 damage. I'm not scared. Force them to have the removal. I don't think they do. I'll trade. Yeah, this is great. Oh, no, it's not. He should have done it instant speed. No. Because they reduced the Embercleave anyways. We can try to double block. Nervous! So even if we do, it's not good. Right? They're still getting, you know, 6 damage in or 4 damage in. Get the satyrs as well, 2 of them. Goldie can go out and attack. And when they put the cleave onto Annex, we kill Annex. But they can still put it onto a satyr here as well. Which is lethal. Okay. So we're going first. They don't have a companion. We have Spear with 2 land. What do we do? Well, I don't know. I guess we keep it. We go first. Spear 1, Stomp 2. Birgi, well, or Giant probably 3. We really need that 3rd land. Watch us not get it. There's always something that messes us up, right? I'm sure you guys feel my pain. Oh, I logged into my phone. I didn't get that pet yet, though. Maybe I didn't log into my phone in time. I think I might have missed the pet. I also missed an emote. I'm too busy making content. I need those things just given to me for free without my time and effort and attention. Sag. Okay. Things are working out. We got the land. We've got the removal on a creature. Hey, life. against an Obosh deck. That's interesting. Oh, but they gain it back here. They take the mill. We still kill the Eidolon. Oh, Crush the Weak is amazing. Cool story, bros. So, Giant in play. I'm sure they've got Myers Grasp, and that's gonna suck. But if not, you know, if they're like, well, if I can just get another Eidolon in play, and then we can start our draw engines, boom, Crush the Weak. Oh, dead weight, okay. So Crush the Weak's gonna kill our Giant now. They're gonna double down on it. They do. That's, so they paid 3 life for the Undercrypt, and they just paid 4 life for the other stuff. Land in play. Why not play Birgi? Give this girl her day. Is it just me, or does this kind of look a little bit like MTG Nerd Girl? Like, not perfectly like we seen in that one that looked like Merchants, that party card. They're doubling down again. Wow. Spear sees its day. We're at 20. Brokenbrow is a 4/4. Cool beans. I like the looks of this. And 3 wins in a row. 500 Mythic. Still doing okay. Oh, started with a rough start, I'll admit. But we got back into it. Super duper G's. Crush the Weak. Yes. I plan on it. Oh my gosh. Stop it. We're at 24 life. They've got 1 in hand. Definitely a very, very good game. 4/4, trample lifelink. Phoenix can buff itself up, and then Arni can buff itself up off the Phoenix. Nice. Good game. 3 in a row. Top 500 Mythic. We're getting that win rate back up, right? That must take us to 50%. You know what's great about this? View Battlefield, there's no Yorion, there's no Luris. Heck, it might be an original deck. Now we just need to see if it's a white source or a red source that enters play. Oh, it's the red source! Just when I thought we were getting lucky. We're really gonna need to make this Crush the Weak work. Yikes. So much mono red. It's like all I see today. They should not Boulder Rush. That is a bad play line. Unless they have another 1-drop to play here. Yeah, they should have played the creature. I mean, you do you, bro. Of course, and I'm gonna do me. But for now, you should have played 2 creatures. Just so, you know, my audience knows that you don't Boulder Rush if you have the mana just to play the creature. So that is annoying. It's super duper annoying. We should have just pushed this over, and then we could have done them both. Oh. So we'll get rid of that. We'll Slaying Fire Annex. Or Demon Bolt, that probably is better yet. And then we Crush the Weak everything. Not good. Maybe they've got another Rimrock Knight that they play. No. We really need to make this Crush the Week work. Pass our turn. We can Bonecrusher the Knight, get hit for 1. I guess. I'm interested to see what they play. I want Crush the Week to be nice and cheap. They could Embercleave here on the Rimrock Knight. Of course, they have to make that decision, and we're allowed to then go on to the stack. Doesn't look like it, or at least they're calling our bluff, and they're going to wait and play on the stack because it has flash. They could still equip it here to the 1/1. Now they cannot. They don't have enough cost and reduction. If for 1, there could be Boulder Rushes on top of it. What are the other cards in their hand? You know, I'm like, what's going on over there? Bonecrusher in play, you know, that's something for them to deal with, I'm sure. I talked about incorporating the Shadowspear last match. I did, a single version. We dropped 1 Birgi. So if we can get that spear off the top onto this Bonecrusher Giant, hot dogs. Okay, yeah, Frostbite gets pulled, 2 damage. So maybe it's all removal. And that's why they're not playing any of it. That was, of course, on our turn, so it's their turn. They untap, play to 5. I'm not going to Crush the Week on a single Satyr token. I would like to draw more copies of that. 15 life. We have Faceless Haven in play. Hope it's not lost. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Wow. It has absolutely been lost. Oh no. We're 1 mana shy. Too bad this doesn't hit also Planeswalkers. Alright, Chandra's down to 2. I mean, we're at 12. We could do something still. That was a good drop for them. That's, like, actually scary. Oh, Robber's good, too. They get a draw. No way. It better frickin' be a land. Down to 7 at best. It's a land. Okay, thank the Lord. Amen! We get another. Great. They could have an answer for this. Are you kidding me? Jerk. Okay, we still clear the field, though. That's frustrating for me. Good. We lost a land as well. Let's clear the Robber. They have 1 card in hand. Well, 2 now. We have 7 life. Come on, give us a free turn. It can attack. It's got Summoning Sickness. So we have to keep a Slaying Fire for that for 3 mana. Which gives us... Why isn't my... What do we have here? QQ? 5 available mana. But this can kill it too. Obosh in hand. Pass our turn. Frostbite the Haven. And then we've got a nice defender in play. Shadowspear? 2.27%. Come to me. Get over here. Hopefully there's no haste. Just a land. Great news. Let's hit it. They killed our Faceless Haven. Let's kill theirs. Tit for tat. Eye for an eye until the whole world is super duper blind. Isn't that how that goes? I don't think they can kill it with 1 spell. Unless it's a Shatterskull Smashing. But they'd still need more land. They need 7 mana for that. Are you kidding me? Wow. That is brutal. So they just win the game here. This can't attack. Because we're going to take 6. Still have to block this. Who's playing Brash Taunter in their mono red deck? This guy's insane. Oh, it taps it. We could have attacked. But not if they have something with haste. Bonecrusher, they win too. We do have an answer for it. We've got Spikefield Hazard times 4. 3 of them left in the deck. And we have lethal here. So lucky. Wow. Wowzers. Oh my gosh. We did have answers for it at least. Getting back-to-back wins. It's just been mono red all day. Ultimatum as well. I guess I'd rather play against mono red than ultimatum, but I want to play against mono white decks. I want to crush the weak. Come on. All right, our opponent plays first. That's a lot of land, kind of frightening. I just want to have a fun match at the end of the day. Mono red. Another super original, intuitive deck. That's what I get though, you know what I mean? That's what's available to me within this build. Let's shock it. Just dealing with it. Here comes a 2-drop, no 2-drop. That's so weird. Pass our turn. I mean, we've got Frostbite for Annex. The turn after, if not, we do have Spikefield. Snook it. Obosh in hand. They have 2 in grave, so the Phoenix will come back eventually. Demon Bolt gets saved for Torbran. Well, there it is. Pass our turn. I guess we should have done it while they're tapped, in case I have any instances and sorceries to throw at us. Alright, that's annoying. Kill the big boy. Hopefully there's no stomp. No double shock. Oh, there is something. No! We should have done it while they're tapped. Idiot. Okay, so we take 2 extra damage there that we didn't need to. That makes me so sad. Just a land. Demon Bolt is good. But how do they kill Obosh? How does mono red kill Obosh without a double spell? Oh, they can attack with Robber and grab Demon Bolt if they have the 3 mana. So we can't block the Robber, but we can kill it next turn. Bonecrusher's fine. I mean, not really. Oh, and they didn't attack. Wow, that's like great news for us. Let's nuke the Robber. Let's go all in. That's pretty big damage for 10. I'll take the trade just to stop the damage to save the spells. But if they try any shenanigans, then we can still interrupt it. Big DPS. Frostbite can kill the giant, take 2 instead of 4. Do it during their attack phase so they can't play the Phoenix with haste from the grave. If we could spear on Obosh for trample lifelink, that could be pretty cool too, right? They're thinking about it. They've got some hard decisions to make. Annex comes out, so we nuke the giant now. 2 damage, but no Satyr tokens. Land in play. Let's see the blocks here. Oh, the Satyrs couldn't block. We just missed lethal. Idiot. We can still save ourselves with the Phoenix, so we don't miss lethal. Oh my gosh. I'm playing so sloppy. I don't normally play at this time. We did get a win though, right? Against one of the better decks. Even though I'm in a terrible mindset here. Just like, hopefully we don't run into another ultimatum deck to finish the video. I'll tell you what. All right, our opponent plays first, and you know that's just what a Yorion deck needs, as we just seen. I'm sure we'll have just another repeat of that, and you know it'll be super entertaining for everybody, especially my rank. It'll be most entertaining for that. Just letting her slide. People don't care about creativity though; they care about being #1, baby. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what they take, we immediately Spikefield Hazard it. You got me, bruh. So we have approximately 5 turns to win the game, or else we automatically lose because we don't have counter magic. Seems fair. Crush the Weak is a dead card. Let's just stomp on their end step, I guess. A little bit salty, right? And that's what deck we're playing against too. But just, it's not fun unless you're playing another control deck and you can, like, you know, go back and forth with counter spells, because it's like, yeah, turn 3 cultivate, really cool. Oh, I love it. We'll play one more match after this, but you know, it just seems to be the flavor of the day, and I'm not gonna really go out of my way. The play queue, we had an amazing win rate with this, but it's a little different when people are trying so hard just to win a single game, right? I mean, I don't blame them. I get it. It's just a frustrating environment when you hate the ultimatum deck, and it's like, yeah, I could build decks to beat it, but now all of my decks are the same, right? So it's like, there's no originality, there's no fun in repetition. It's like a very hard world to live in. Trust me, as someone who pushes rank with one deck to start the season, there's nothing I want to do more than play a different deck. So we're just screwed here, right? No idea what we could even do. Hit for 4, Obosh is in hand. We can play it. Probably playing our Spikefield Hazard here. But Binding of the Old Gods hits the Bonecrusher Giant. Oh, no, it's just all runs Epiphany into an ultimatum. Great. I won't do the sleepy emote until they actually cast the ultimatum here. Come on, bruh. Give it to me. Oh, man, they don't have it. That's like 1 in 1,000 that they don't have it. This will obviously find it for them, though. What a time to be alive. All right, we get some damage in. Hooray. Touch the Weak, I guess, does kill these crows. Another Epiphany? Send it up top. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So they wouldn't be able to. Do Yorion and Binding. I mean, they could have Heartless Act. I don't doubt that. I mean, we're staring right at one right now. And they know they had to deal with Obosh. There's the land. Oh, an event. That's just great. This is my least favorite deck to play against. All right. Here comes Borenclax. Really cool stuff here tonight on HGG's channel. Okay, our opponent plays first. We've got the land we want. Bonecrusher, Phoenix, cool. Yorion. So we know we're on a time limit. We know Obosh is probably going to get just nuked as soon as it enters play. We can stomp here, then Giant, then Phoenix. I guess. Probably only pull Obosh if we run out of stuff. I don't know. It's It's not how we want to play the deck. But let's get lucky. This is, you know, one of the best decks, so it's gonna be hard to beat anyways, especially, you know, turn 2 Omen, turn 3 Cultivate, right? It's gonna be turn 5 Ultimatum, big surprise. Yeah. Let's see how it all pans out, though. Nothing but land, baby. Giant comes over, I imagine binding. Or they take a turn off, bring Yori on in. Or tell Allrun's Epiphany. Land and play, pass turn. Arni goes out. They could have Heartless Act. They should kill the... Well... I don't think it matters much. Arni's a better kill. The Giant does more damage. They're gonna kill Arni. They do this to me. We hit for 4. Pass the turn. We played a 5 mana. Yeah, big surprise. Cool deck, bro. No, it's fine. It's overdone, right? Hashtag way to be original. Alright, so I'm not even going to concern myself with wasting of my time or your time. We all know how the story ends. Ha ha ha. Let's find a more fun match to play. Ayo, River! So, a rough start, but we pulled through. Now, I put those last 3 matches at the start of the video and the first 3 at the end because a lot of the people, you know, they'll click off right away. They see this deck, they lost, dumb deck. Don't want to watch the rest of the video. You'd be surprised. It's like average view duration, and then as soon as you lose 1 match, it's just like plummets 50%. So we put the wins at the start, losses at the end. You still got to see all of the matches and my frustration. Maybe it would be better as a narrative to see it come to fruition, but that's on me. I didn't lace that in with the first part of the video, and now, you know, I'm just explaining why I engineered it the way I did. Just so you're not confused, like, how did he win 3 in a row and then his win rates, you know, right? So, breaking even at like 50%, 3 wins, 3 losses, that's still all right. The deck probably has room for improvement, don't get me wrong, this is my first version. But as far as competing within the meta, I kind of like it. I don't mind it. I just hate Ultimatum. That's my only issue. I just hate it so much. But for the rest of the week, I'll probably run the gates, and then I won't hate it at all. And soon, we get that new card that will exile all copies of it as soon as it's cast once. From their hand, from their graveyard, from their library. Get out of here. So, as far as I'm concerned, you're going to need yourself an archaic avatar to make me pay an additional 2 to counter you, which I still will do. Or you're going to need to not cast it until you have your own counter spells available, at which point I'll carry 2. Because I hate Salty Alchemy. That's enough rambling. I'm sure you guys feel a similar way. At this point, I would even rather prefer to play against rogues, because then I know I'll make it to turn 5 and they'll mill me, you know, maybe on turn 7. I get 2 extra turns of gameplay there. Have an amazing day, you guys. Take care. Like the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Support if you can afford to do so. Blah, 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 skis. And have a magical day, and we'll see you soon in the next. All right? Peace. Nice.